Ladies and gentlemen, the stock market is not looking good right now, and we got to break it down in this video. We have to go over the overall markets, charts, my thoughts on the markets, and of course, we got to break down 3 oversold stocks that I'm looking at now. But before we do, make sure to get your free money from Moomoo. You get up to 5 free stocks, each of which could be valued up to $3,500. Just use that link down below, deposit at least $100, and boom, you get your free money. And with that being said, let's dive into the video. Alrighty guys, check this out and brace yourselves because the markets right now are not looking good. It's freaking ugly out there. It's currently about 1 p.m. and again, brace yourselves for this. The NASDAQ 100's down 2.6%. We have the Russell down 1.4%. The S&P's down 1.3%. And we have the Dow Jones down about 0.7%. And take a look at this, guys. The VIX is now in the mid-20s. Today alone, the VIX is up 15%. And we have gold and silver, both of them pretty much at break even. So volatility is running up like crazy, mid-20s on the VIX. All of the indexes are down. Gold and silver are really not budging either. And we have crude oil, which last I checked, it was green. Let's take a look here. Crude oil is now down. Look at that. Crude oil is down 2.6%. We are testing the bottom of the wedge yet again. You all can see we're holding right around 99, $100 a barrel, which again is towards the bottom of the wedge here. So let's see exactly what oil does around 98, 100 a barrel. That's a very important spot. And going back to SPY, let me show you this, guys. On the 10-day chart, this is a very important time frame. What we're noticing is, like I mentioned in my morning video, which I only make for Patreon members, but today I did end up uploading it onto YouTube, so go check that out if you haven't done so already. What I mentioned in that video was we hit a lower high, right? Very obvious. And we ended up taking out the lows from last week. If you guys remember, the lows from last week on SPY were right around 449, 450. Now we're trading at 445. We clearly took the lows out. Now we have a death cross, and this looks like it wants to go down and test the lows from the end of March being around 443, which by the looks of it, if things get really ugly with the Fed minutes coming out soon, you know, that could be where we end up going. So that's SPY, guys. The trend is not looking good. It's getting very beaten down right now. So let's see what ends up happening over the next couple of hours here. We do have about 3 hours left in the session, and literally everything I just said for SPY applies to Triple Q, right? We hit a lower high. We took the lows out from last week. We have a death cross on the 20-day chart and on the 10-day chart. And, you know, it's getting beaten down. The bears are clearly in charge. And I actually ended up buying TQQQ. And I don't want to say me buying TQQQ is a hedge because it's not. But I just bought a little bit, a very small, you know, short-term position in it just to see if we get some sort of snapback today after the Fed minutes, because I do think today, even though, like I said, we could be going lower, the trend is not looking good right now at all, I still believe we could get some sort of relief rally maybe tomorrow, maybe later today. So I'm kind of looking to prepare myself for that. But of course, I still have a lot of cash, guys, right? Still a decent, I don't want to say a lot of cash, like 50% of my portfolio, but a decent chunk is in cash just in case we do go lower. But I do have also, again, a little bit. I put in a little bit earlier today in TQQQ to just to make some money in the short term. Let's say we do get a snapback, whether it's later today, maybe in power hour, maybe tomorrow. So that's kind of some thoughts there. Those are some thoughts that I'm thinking when it comes to these markets, and a little breakdown on what's going on and what I'm doing kind of in a way with TQQQ, a very tiny position there because it could go wrong. We could go a lot lower and I could lose a lot of money, which then I would obviously cut my position, cut the loss. So yeah, what do you guys think? Drop me a comment, hit the like button, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, guys. It really does help me out in the YouTube algorithm. We're trying to get 25,000 subscribers. That's a big milestone. And of course, after that, we're coming for 50,000 subscribers and 100,000 subscribers. But right now, we got to get to 25 first. So let's break down some stocks that I'm looking at, 3 that are pretty oversold. And I'm sure you guys know all 3 of these stocks, guys, all 3 of these companies. So let's start off with number one, which is good old Microsoft. So we covered this one recently as it did break out of the head and shoulder neckline, which if this 4-hour chart wants to load, come on, there we go. You guys can see we did break out of the neckline, which was right around 300, 305, roughly close to 310. We broke out of that, and now we're clearly free falling. The stocks today alone, the stock's down 4.3%, back under 300 bucks. RSI is very oversold on the 4-hour chart. And yes, it looks like a falling knife, but again, it's very oversold, and it's coming right down to the main 180 moving average, which has held since the middle of March when Microsoft started breaking out. And then we ran up to about, 315, roughly 320. So we've dropped down a lot today alone, and the past couple of days, just 2 days, the stock's down 6%. So I want to see if we get some sort of short-term bounce. Now that we're right by the moving average at about 295, 300, do we get a short-term bounce, maybe to 305, 310, and then do we start selling off again? Or do we just not short-term bounce, which in that case, if we break under the 180 SMA here, we start going 290, 285, that would be a completely different story, guys. I would not like that at all for Microsoft. But if we do get the pop above 300, which is where I'm going to put my alert, that's where I'm going to be like, okay, maybe we're going to make a move to 310 now. We can catch that and trade it very quick, in and out, make some money. So Microsoft, MSFT, watch it. I put my alert at 300 bucks. The next one is Crowdstrike, CRWD is the ticker. This one's down just like Microsoft. It is down 4% just today. And it's this is one that honestly was well in need of a pullback. You know, it's ran up like crazy since the last earnings report, which was roughly a month ago, a little bit less than a month ago. It ran from 156 to about 235 in just a month, less than a month, which is a 50% move. And now today it's down 4%. It's down about 10% in the past couple of days. That is nothing, again, considering it went up 50% the month prior, the couple of weeks prior. So we're simply getting a little pullback, a little cool off, profit taking, as again, the overall markets are not doing well right now. And this could come lower, it could come lower. Nobody knows where it's going to go, when it's going to go here, there, or whatever price. So always keep that in mind. It could come lower, but overall, I'm looking at 195, 200, which is right by the 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart. I'm looking at that to be a spot where maybe buyers start stepping in, and right now the stock is sitting at 210 roughly. So if this comes down another $5, maybe another $10, I'm going to really start considering throwing some, short-term money at Crowdstrike as a swing trade. I think at that point, it's just going to need a bounce back, a relief rally. It'd be way oversold. So I like Crowdstrike, CRWD. Another one that I'm looking at here is Dow, DOW is the ticker, and this is one that's been doing very well. We've called this out on the pullbacks over the past couple of weeks, 2 months, I think. We've covered it over the past 2 months a couple of times, and recently it got very overbought. It hit 65 bucks. It was looking a bit toppy, and then all of a sudden it started selling off from 65 rather to 64, 63, and now we're at 61. We went from 65 to 64, 63. So we went from overbought when the RSI was at 75, 80 just a couple of days ago. Now RSI is at 30. It's very oversold, and we're still holding the trend, which is fantastic. You guys can see we're holding above the 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart, and sure, like the other ones, this could go lower. Anything could go lower, but I think a short-term rally could occur anywhere from, let's say, 60 bucks, 59 on the low end, to about $60, $61, $61.50. Even where we are now, we might see a relief rally right where we are now if these markets do end up turning around. So Dow, I love it. The chart looks great. Golden cross. It's above the moving average, main moving average. Now all we have to do is see buying pressure and maybe some volume, some volume for the stock. As volume it's been dying down the past week and a half, 10 days. So those are the three guys: Microsoft, Crowdstrike, Dow Inc. And if you all stuck till the end, let me know, because I want to go over a bonus one quickly, which is AT&T. AT&T it's one of those stocks. It's a high dividend payer. it's been one that's been hit very aggressively. So I don't even know if you invested in AT&T a year ago. Let's see, would you have made money considering their dividend is very high? Probably not. I mean, if you bought this stock, just last April at $30, now it's at 24, you would be down about 20% capital loss there, and the dividend's what, 7-8%? So you would definitely be down in that case if you bought it last year with the dividend. But overall, if we're looking at the chart right now, it is trying to reverse. It's very oversold from where it was just earlier in 2022. The stock is now down 13% from that point, and we're slowly reversing out of the moving averages. The stock is. You guys can see here it's above both the 180 and the 50. We're also getting a golden cross. So I think if AT&T starts moving above the highs from earlier this week, last week, which we're now testing at about 24.50, if this clears above, let's say 24.50, there could be a lot more upside in the short term on AT&T. And mind you, they do have a dividend payment. Wait a second. It looks like they cut the dividend. Wow. I think they did cut the dividend now that I'm thinking about it. I could be wrong because it says here 52 cents were what was paid out in January, and now they're about to pay 27 cents, which it's about half of 52 cents. So I'm going to look deeper into that. Let me know in the comments. But overall, who cares about the dividend? It might go down the day of the dividend payment, but overall the trend is reversing. And again, watch out for 24.50 to break. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment. Feel free to join my Patreon if you want all my buy, sells, call outs, morning update videos, plus more. That's linked down below, or you guys can go to StockSurfest.com/Patreon. Make sure to also get your 5 free stocks, up to 5 stocks, each of which could be valued up to $3,500. Just use that link down below. Deposit at least $100 with Moomoo, and that's how you get up to 5 stocks. Again, each of which could be valued up to $3,500. Just use that link down below. Get your money, and with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching as always. Peace out.